we're finally here. It's the end. It's the end of this game. After about 5+ years, we finally hit to that point to where there's a new installment of Splatoon coming out, and I'm very excited. But also, I'm feeling pretty, I guess, kind of sad. Splatoon 2 has made a huge impact on my life. After discovering Splatoon 1, like all that stuff, I knew I had to jump right onto the Splatoon 2 train as soon as possible because I was a little late into the Splatoon 1 life cycle. Once I started really getting down in Splatoon 2 and all the stuff, that I was very passionate about the game. I didn't play it or stream it as much as you would think, but off stream, all this stuff, I was insanely passionate about this game. I always was trying to recommend it to people to play because it's that kind of game that, like, I feel like people would love to play, and it's that shooter that still feels like they take quality and they make it into a game. It's just, those are really hard to come by nowadays, unfortunately. But yeah, Splatoon 2. Next box I'll be holding right after this video goes up, pretty much, is Splatoon 3's. If you're watching this, it should be out September 8th, the day before Splatoon 3 releases. I'm recording this on the September 2nd, but Splatoon 2 had a huge impact on my life. I remember picking it up on the launch and being super excited to finally play it because it was like a little after the launch of the Nintendo Switch that the game came out, but it was actually still coming out in that year, so we're good. There's a lot of good quality stuff with this. I guess to give my final opinion on the game, I think the game is fantastic. Knowing Nintendo, it's a fantastic game. But it has flaws, and unfortunately, I think it's going to go down as the worst out of the 3 Splatoon games. Simply because of controls. Controls are everything in this game, and there's been some pretty crazy input lag situations where input felt really inconsistent, and also input lag on top of that, and it didn't feel very smooth at times. Some days you get onto the game and the game feels great, and then the next day you're just like, what the hell happened? Now I have to change up my sense because everything feels weird. When I played Splatoon 3 for the first time, the controls felt so smooth. There was still input lag, but it was consistent. You actually could learn the controls and keep that muscle memory going. Well, is it better than the Wii U version? Absolutely not. The Splatoon ones, I think controls are overall the best. Features wise, it's lacking because one big thing is it doesn't have Salmon Run. But Splatoon 2, again, I guess a little bit of milestones here. So with Splatoon 2, we had 31 Splatfests. We had 135 weapons. Obviously, there's some of them are the same, but they're kits. That's what I'm trying to say. We have 135 weapons, and I guess to be more specific, weapon kits. We had 47 maps in this game, but 24 of them being Splatfest maps. So kind of like iffy balance there, but we still had 23 maps in official rotation to play through. And the fact if you had some friends or if you're doing viewer battles in during your stream, you could play the Splatfest maps. They actually did that update very later on. We had the Octo expansion where you could actually play as the Octolings for the very first time. Again, we got Salmon Run, which was introduced in Splatoon 2, coming to Splatoon 3. There was a bunch of the dualies were introduced as the game's pretty much staple, and I think that's the only new weapon I remember, at least. But yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of things that they accomplished with this. We had some new amiibos. Octo Canyon, you know, the single player in this game was fantastic. There's a lot of grindability to it to where you can actually unlock weapons if you use them in Octo Canyon. That was a ton of fun to do. I still have yet to complete all of them. I don't even know if I'll do it before Splatoon 3 comes out, but we'll see. I mean, we still got some time, so who knows? Maybe I could. Yeah, no, over time, we just had a lot of good stuff. Was it the best maps in the game? I think so, yes, actually, because Splatoon 1 had great maps, but I think Splatoon 2's maps were also very good too. There was definitely some lackluster ones, but I think the only map that was a highlight for me that I wasn't so stoked about coming back was Moray Towers. And thankfully enough, as of right now, the game will get updates, but as of right now, Moray Towers will not be in Splatoon 3. They confirmed that there's going to be 12 maps at launch, which is pretty good, because knowing that we only get like 2 in rotation at a time anyways. But 12 maps is actually really good at launch, especially in most cases. That's not a lot. That's more maps than what Modern Warfare had, or Black Ops Cold War. Like, in comparison to other games, that's more maps than shooters nowadays have. Except for Vanguard. Vanguard had like, what, 17 at launch, but they all sucked anyways. But those 12 maps, from what I've played so far, we already know how some of those maps are because they're from Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2. But those maps were incredible. The Splatoon 3 maps, the newer ones, the only one I'm still iffy about is Scorch Gorge. That's literally it out of all the maps that I've played in Splatoon 3. The returning maps in Splatoon 3 are some of the best maps in Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 1, and they're even, like, the layouts are changed up a little bit to be better maps. And there's a lot going for Splatoon 3 at this point. But I think that's pretty much it. My rating of Splatoon 2, my final rating, unless my opinion for some reason changes, is I'm gonna give this game a solid 7 out of 10. I try not to do ratings, but in this case, I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. The controls didn't feel the greatest. Salmon Run had some features, like Splatoon 3 will actually have upgraded features from Salmon Run. Octo Canyon, fantastic, but I think Octo Expansion was amazing. Probably the best single player I've played in the Splatoon franchise. Don't get me wrong, the other ones are good, but Octo Expansion is amazing. I just love the platforming, I love the challenges that you had, the rage, you know, like being able to feel that challenge and you understood, like, once you accomplished it, you felt accomplished. You felt rewarded, and you felt like you actually did something with yourself, and you felt like you were good. Most of the weapons, my personal milestone is my two things. My highest kill game, which I believe is 26, and then my favorite weapon, discovering my favorite weapon in the entire game, and that is the NZAP. Also, another personal milestone I just realized is the Splatoon 2 is one of the games that was one of my highest performing videos. It's the how to get good at motion controls video. If you want to, I'll link that in the description below if you want to go check that out. But also the playlist will be linked as well, so make sure to go check that out as well. There's a lot of stuff that Splatoon 2 brought, and it's a great game. I will never knock it for being I don't think it'll ever be a bad game. I'll never say it's a bad game. But in comparison to the other two, I think it's going to be the worst. But yeah, we still have yet to play Splatoon 3, so who knows? Something about that game could suck, but so far from what we've played and what I've seen, Nintendo is going all out for this. So after this little segment, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys the best of Splatoon 2 that I've recorded on this channel over time. And yeah, we'll just see where that goes. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video. It's probably going to be a long one, so make sure to sit back, relax, get some popcorn or whatever. And if you skip to the gameplay, which I'll put a timestamp in there, if you skipped it, that's completely fine. You don't really need to hear my opinion if you don't want to. So, but yeah, anyways, I'm really excited for Splatoon 3, guys. It's coming out tonight at the time of posting this. I will definitely be getting up as early as I can in the morning to go pick it up from where I've pre-ordered it. So I hope you guys enjoy the very best moments of Splatoon 2. I'll see you guys in Splatoon 3 with a bunch of content, so a bunch of live streams, and just overall grinding, trying to make it, let's see if we can make it over 300 hours this time. But yeah, I love you guys. It's pretty bittersweet. I've been through a lot with this game. Like, this game has been my therapy for a while now. It's like one of the games that have been my therapy for sure. It's just fun. I'll miss it, but I know I always have it. I can always go back to it. Splatoon 3 is on the same platform, so I can just pop this one in if I want to play. There's still people playing Splatoon 1. Anyways, hope you guys do enjoy. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel and you find yourself coming back. And make sure to let me know, what is your favorite Splatoon 2 map? I'm curious about that. And if you want, what's your favorite weapon? I'm curious. Did you like Splatoon 2 or did you not like Splatoon 2? All that stuff. Leave it down in the comment section below for me. I'm very curious to see what you guys' opinions are. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of the video. And I'll see you guys in Splatoon 3.
God damn it. I'm trying to get to the guy with the bucket.
There we go. I got the guy with the bucket. Flat.
Hang on.
There we go. Got my bubble. Come on, kill him! Kill him, or I killed him again! Did it! Ah! Oh, someone, a f***ing bucket rushed our spawn. There we go. He is dead. Yep.
Yeah,
We did it, boys. We did it, boy.
Ay, ay, ay.
I hit you
Fuck
so
off.
many times while you're still up in the air.
Invisible bitch.
Okay, now you guys are just spawn camping us. That's kind of cowardice.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not even by the spot. I'm.
Dude,
No.
rest in peace, this goddamn... Really? 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 I don't run spawns, I don't play like that. Fucking injets are spawn? What the hell?
I wanted kills. I don't know why.
Fucking asshole.
I'm just covering this the map. Oh shit!
Oh, shit! It doesn't feel good.
It feels warm. Oh shit!
Yes!
Get him, team!
Revenge! Revengeance! Oh, Buble! 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 Yeah! Yes! Yep.
Oh, actually, you guys got a lot of.
We
You guys got a lot of
we
damage.
kind of came back, but
Oh,
it's
wow.
not. It wasn't enough. This is a good gun. Holy shit. Oh, hello. Yeah. Wow, 48.1%. I'm going to go ahead and jump into another game, guys, and hopefully test this out on a different map. Especially kind of get a good amount of kills with it, see how good its TTK is. Alright, I'll be right back, okay, guys?
No! Took him. No. Holy sh**. Oh, there's one over there. Fine. on. Get the eggs in the basket now. Get the eggs in the basket now. Oh no. Ain't good. No, he took it. No, come back here, you son of a bitch! No! No! What an ass. What is the soul of a man? Why are there so many bosses? Like, especially that one. Dude! Why are they all on me? Don't die. God. Pieces of goddamn. My goodness. That was chaotic.
Damn it. Oh, yes, we win. Damn, that was a nice triple. actually like ate actual chicken. That's not actually a chicken dinner. We gotta keep him before 20. I need to get a wired connection. 25 kills, holy shit. Good job. Ooh, dude. I'm not. Oh my gosh. Still alive.
It's a good life.
Oh, we won.
Hey.
Go. Go, go, go. Get the football in their goal. What are you doing? Oh, we got it. Oh, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. Oh, I'm out. Oh, realize how good this gun is. Hello? Hello? Hit him like once. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Not dead. I don't expect it to keep being this easy because, well, to be honest, these are B rank players. Hello? Hello? I don't care if I rush him. I'm gonna win that. Hey, got him. Ooh, that almost killed me. Nah. Not letting them go into overtime. It's good to play this game mode to stack kills. That's what I'll say. Yeah, sorry, I am nowhere near there. Ah, I got him, but they're in overtime. We gotta let that football disappear. We did it. Hello? Jesus. Other games, and he'll just like have fun with them. He still got it in. I hate this game. Ah! I'm dead. I'm out. Peace.
What? I was dead. I saw it.
This is not good. This is really bad.
Ah.
I'll tell you what, Treyarch. You guys really know how to make good games, but man, your content is trash. Don't throw it. Ooh, triple. But he still got it in. Purgatory, what are you saying? Get wrecked. Why are you jumping on him? Idiot. Oh my gosh, die. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Lowercase, but you can do some crazy stuff with them. I was playing Frequency. I think that I did this on a stream. I was playing 23 kills, dude. 23 kills. Ready for this shit? Legs out. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Oh, okay. I got you though. Come here, boy. Oh my god, I knocked him out of the air. See ya. Thank you. Come again.
Hello everyone, and welcome to one of the biggest claims I will ever make in my career. Now to get it right out of the way, this video is strictly opinion-based with some fact sprinkled in there. If you have a separate opinion, please let me know in the comments below. Toxic comments will be ignored. Also, keep in mind that this comes from someone with a large amount of experience with Call of Duty, Battlefield, and many other shooters. Also coming from somebody who experienced a very abusive microtransaction system with Black Ops 4. It's very sensitive to say that, but I will openly admit that it was a very abusive microtransaction system with what they gave us in Black Ops 4. And you guys, and if you live under a rock, you should know that. Now, let's get into it. Splatoon 2 is a third-person shooter that was released in July 21st, 2017, created by Nintendo, and was exclusively released on the Nintendo Switch. And it is based in a post-apocalyptic world where pretty much sea creatures live in the world and squids can morph into humans. And their terms of fun, they engage in a sport called Turf War, to where you are split into two teams of 4 players, and the team that inks the most ground wins. This also branches off into several different game modes by the names of Tower Control, Clam Blitz, Rainmaker, and Splat Zones, and they're considered competitive modes. Turf War is strictly casual unless there is a Splatfest happening. Now, my opinion is that Splatoon 2 is one of the best shooters of our time. I say our time because it seems that a grind factor of some games goes right out the window. I dive deeper into this reason at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video because it is very important. Anyways, I have 7 reasons on why I make this claim, and we're going to go ahead and dive right into that with reason number 7, and that is gameplay is incredibly simple yet very addictive. The basis of the gameplay is pretty much shoot the ground with ink and try to ink more than the enemy, but how it plays out is the best part. Matches are short, but you are given many ways of thinking at your disposal. While enemy players have the same objective as you, you need to stop them in their tracks, and they're doing the same thing to you, so they don't ink your turf, and that turns into an all-out chaotic yet strategic battle. You don't have unlimited ink, which leads me into one of the most unique mechanics in any game ever, and adds more importance to having as much of your team's ink on the map as possible. You are allowed to swim in your own ink to not only reload or refill, however you want to say it, your weapon, but to outmaneuver your opponents, traverse the map, and escape sticky situations. I'm going to make the safe bet and say it is unique, but I really want to say that it is original because I don't think I've ever seen another game use a swimming mechanic like Splatoon does. Speaking of uniqueness, it is not as unique, but you are able to super jump either to teammates or back to your own spawn. While the mechanic is pretty much a suicide button, if you know how to use it and time it right, you can really benefit you and your teammates. Now to the loadout management. There are 4 slots in your loadout screen. You can't set classes, but you can assign a loadout to an amiibo. If you were wondering, it is not pay to win because you can't swap loadouts mid-game. Anyways, the 4 slots are made up of your weapon of choice and gear of choice, which are very fashionable, I must say. Your weapon is your first slot. Head, clothes, and shoes are your second, third, and fourth slot. Each weapon has a sub-weapon and a special weapon that accompany you in battle, and each weapon caters to specific playstyles. All the weapons that are unique perform differently. Each piece of gear has what I would consider perks. There is 1 main perk and 3 other sub perks that aren't as impactful as the main perk. You can have up to 12 perks in one loadout, and you can stack multiple of the same perk. Once you get a hold of the basics of the game, it can get very addictive. It does get very tough to master though, and that is what is the most rewarding part of this game. Noticing that you are starting to improve at the game. Nothing gets more rewarding than that. Reason number 6. So much lore and backstory if you care to find it. This game has so much story and explanation on why the whole game is the way that it is. There's a lot of depth in this universe. There's a single player campaign that explains to you through character dialogue, in-game notes, and little subtle details in the level design. The Octo expansion even expanded on that lore. It is honestly incredible on how deep the lore goes. Reason number 5, all content updates were completely free. As you guys know, this game is no longer supported, and I'm pretty sure it's because they're focusing full drive on the next Splatoon installment, and I don't doubt that for any second. But a large majority of this game's big content updates were completely 100% free. No microtransactions, no nothing. I say large majority because they had an expansion for this game that was called the Octo expansion, which added a whole new single player campaign based on the Octoling race. It didn't restrict any multiplayer maps, but it did restrict some clothing selections, but it still wasn't pay to win. Just simply some cosmetic items and a whole new character option called the Octoling, my new favorite, honestly. Other than that, all new weapons, maps, gear, etc. were all free. Reason number 4, no skill-based matchmaking in casual lobbies. As you know, skill-based matchmaking has been a pretty big issue recently with games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and a bunch of other PvP games. But in Splatoon 2, there are 3 separate matchmaking pools. I like and dislike the matchmaking pool. What I like the most about it is that the modes are separated into 3 categories: regular, ranked, and league battle. Regular battle is turf war only, and it is strictly made for casual play only. Ranked in league battle is tower control, splat zones, rainmaker, and clam blitz. Turf war is not included, although it would be interesting to see it included, and is incredibly competitive focused and is match made with people of the same rank that you are. I'm not going to go too much in detail with this, but I will link a video in the description below explaining the ranking system in this game. A nice form of skill-based matchmaking in my opinion. What I don't like about it is that you can only party up in the league battle, and you can only do duo and squads if you're in league battle, and you cannot do solo or trio. Reason number 3 is fresh mode and map rotation. I think this one will be based purely on opinion. I personally really like the rotation system in Splatoon 2. Every 2 hours, 2 maps and ranked game modes are rotated out. The map selection can get pretty repetitive, but it is generally a really great way of keeping the game feeling fresh. Reason number 2 is an absolute metric ton of content. Sure, the game didn't launch with the amount of maps that we see now, but its current state, there are 23 maps, a wide variety of weapons to choose from with several different combinations of sub and special weapons, and a plethora of gear that you can use to benefit and customize your Inkling or Octoling. There is a pretty big single player mode that is filled with creative obstacles that you can have to overcome to move on in the story. The Octo expansion even added onto that with a $20 paywall. Pretty worth it if you ask me. An all new mode called Salmon Run that wasn't in the first game, and it was a wave-based survival mode. Unfortunately, it is not accessible all the time, but when it is accessible, there is one out of multiple maps and a specific weapon rotation that you are provided when you play. And to be more in depth, there's about 3 waves and then you're done with that session. The mode will also reward you with the in-game loot boxes, and I will get to that right now actually with reason number 1. Loot boxes In-game rewards, however you want to say it, are rewarded through in-game playtime only. This is very important to me. I don't like knowing that something is restricted only to a paywall, especially if it is a skin, camo, weapon, etc. I was a little upset about the Octo expansion, but I didn't mind it because I was really quick to realize that it was a full-fledged single-player expansion for only $20. Sure, the Octoling was locked behind the paywall, but at least I knew I got so much more than just a new character to play as. Where in Black Ops 4, in order to get just a simple character skin, you gotta pay $20. Same thing goes with Fortnite. Anyways, this game has absolutely, I put that in all caps in my script there, absolutely no microtransactions. Yes, I know that Nintendo is starting to lean into that a little more now, especially with their mobile games, but this game doesn't even have a single cent of MTX in it. Everything else is all rewarded by in-game play time. A very rare idea nowadays, unfortunately. Not many games are still made like this, and I am glad that Nintendo still knows what a video game is meant for, even with an online shooter that is genuinely fun to play. This is a very grindy game, from ranking up in each ranked mode, to leveling up in general, to earning gold to buy weapons and gear, to salmon run and single player reward grinding. Everything in this game is organically earned, and I absolutely love that. So I mentioned loot boxes, and as much as I made it sound like a big deal, it really isn't. That is where salmon run plays a humongous role and gets players motivated to play it. They call them shifts in this game, and that just means that the game mode is active. You play for a really long time, level up, get paid, pay goes to your meter that gives you the items, go to the window, and boom, you get your rewards. Not only that, but you can grind to get a guaranteed piece of gear that is actually rotated in every new shift. So there is a currency in this game that I never mentioned. It is called Super Sea Snail. It's not microtransactions, you don't earn it with your real money. And I never really mentioned it because earning it is pretty rare. You used to get a certain amount based on your playtime in the Splatfest that happened, but the Splatfests are no longer a thing in this game. Now the only way to get them is every level after level 30. But these Super Sea Snails allowed you to increase slots or re-roll the slots on your gear. It's pretty much the only role they played, to be honest. Honestly, this is the most consumer-friendly game that you could ask for. I feel like if they didn't make it exclusive to Nintendo Switch, a lot more people would be open to trying this. This game is very much worth the $60 price tag, and I will stand by that. I really hope they announce a Splatoon 3 soon. Alright guys, that concludes my reasons on why I think Splatoon 2 is one of the best shooters out there and why I genuinely think you should play it and buy a Nintendo Switch for it. If you found this video helpful on if you should buy Splatoon 2, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new to the channel, and comment if you have ever played Splatoon 2. Also guys, at the very end of this video, I'm going to say this. Modern Warfare is coming out. It's very soon. Friday, I don't know what I'm going to be posting, but I plan to do a 12-hour stream of Modern Warfare. So if you guys want to go see that stream happen, make sure to click the link in the description below that takes you to my Twitch channel, and make sure to follow me over on Twitch and turn on those post notifications. I'm going to be grinding the hell out of Modern Warfare as long as I can, as long as I'm physically able to, and yeah, I love you guys. Have a great day. What is going on, guys? This is Purgatory and welcome to another video. As you can see, I got the controller cam going on, and I'm just going to show you guys how to use motion controls, and stuff like that. So obviously we're here on Splatoon 2. The only game I think does motion controls pretty well. This is like one of the only games I think they do a pretty good job at handling motion controls. So as you can see, when I'm moving my controller, you can see that my cursor and my entire screen moves. So obviously you can still use your stick. As you see, I got the control freak on it because I always do that stuff. You can still use your stick, but you can only look left and right. So obviously you're not gonna like find your perfect sense. Now obviously you're not gonna find your perfect sense like immediately. Obviously these are the settings that I use. I'm probably thinking about turning this down, but I got the stick to max out. But what I would recommend you doing is probably starting around maybe -3, maybe even 0, and see if that's too fast, turn it down. If that's too slow, turn it up. Pretty much like that. I play it with max. Motion controls I don't play with max because it's more, I would say it's more of an aim adjuster, I would say. It's not really something you should rely on, which is something I do sometimes. But yeah, obviously, turn the motion controls on. I highly recommend it. I think this is one of the only games that does motion controls very, very well, and it makes sense for this game. So obviously, you know, once you get your settings down, you know, you sit there and you test it out. Go ahead and do whatever weapon you want, but as you can see, you know, I'm moving my stick, move the screen. But even then, when I put it, it doesn't look that fast, at least to me. But it's not like as fast as like Call of Duty or something. Obviously, if you want to like adjust, like if you're sitting like this comfortably, like how my hands are, but you're aiming high, just hit the Y button and it'll reset you, and then you'll be like that. But I usually play like this, so I'll just do that. Anyways, you use your stick to look left and right, and when you strafe, your camera actually turns too. So this is a really decent, like, if you like pop out, jump, and then somebody's like on your right, you can strafe over to the right while you're shooting, and then you're gonna pretty much get the kill. There's no aim assist on this game, even if you're a stick player, so that's why I highly recommend doing motion controls, because motion controls is like, pretty much like, think of a mouse, but it has like mouse and keyboard, but the keyboard is the buttons on the controller. So, yeah. Anyways, pretty much find your sense. And now, next thing I recommend doing is standing right here, shooting this guy, and then trying to snap over here. Obviously, my aim isn't perfect, but pretty much, please don't hit the Y button on accident. But pretty much what I do is, and even if you want to, you can add more of a combination in there, and then you can look up, stuff like that. But what you really should be doing is this. Something like that, you know. Obviously, you know, you look to your left, but your motion controls is your aim adjuster pretty much. So obviously, you know, you use the stick, stuff like that. You know, if that makes any sense. So obviously, you know, I'm not the perfect kind of player. I think if you want to watch somebody who's really good at motion controls, I would say to give SRB2 dude a watch. I'll leave a link to his channel. But he's an incredible Splatoon player. He plays this more than I do. I'm pretty sure he has like over 1,000 hours on this game already. Thing is, it's a pretty good game. It's pretty fun. I like the whole 4v4 and, you know, small arenas. You know, obviously making big turns like this, you shouldn't use motion controls. And if somebody's like strafing, you can try to track them with your motion controls, but if like somebody's like really far away, you can definitely like do kind of like small motions with your motion controls. It's so hard to explain, but I got some example gameplays for you guys. I don't have any motion control cams, but I hope I explained it as best as I possibly could. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like if you did. Make sure to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel, and if you want to see more controller cam videos like this, I'll do that in the future, especially with some Splatoon gameplays as well. I'm recording this on my phone, so I might have to, like, I don't know. I'll probably figure something out. But anyways, I love you guys. Have an absolutely fantastic day. And one thing I did fail to mention is this is another really great gameplays. I will say myself, all of these are ranked games, and I might sneak in a turf war game in there as well. But these are just example gameplays on how to improve our motion controls on Splatoon 2. And obviously, you know, practice is practice. You know, practice makes perfect. Just practice, 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 and you will get better at this stuff. It's like, find your perfect settings, find what you're comfortable with, build that muscle memory. Don't change those settings until you feel like you need to. Pretty much, yeah. Oh my gosh, what a great game. "20 kills. Holy. Yes. This game relies on trajectory. That's something like you kind of gotta get used to, because the gunplay in this game is very original, I guess you could say. It's nothing like really a shooter would do. Nope. We broke their barrier. Means I can throw like 3 in. I just messed up 2 of those. Peace. Peace be upon you. They're about to break ours. Kill him! I don't know why he didn't just throw it. He could have threw it right there. Thing is, they're about to get a free one. Gotcha. Come on, I need 2 more. You tried. Don't worry, bro, I got a football. Yeah. Oh, I had one. Come on, give me it back. Oh no. Oh hell no. Get them out of our spawn. No, get them out of there. No, 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 no. Nice try, dude. Oh, come on. Oh, we got the high ranker on our team. Oh my goodness. What even happened there? No. I got you, homie. Nut. This is a brutal spawn push, huh? These guys don't deserve this. Okay, I feel like I should go back to the sweaty game that we had. Yeah, there's literally 2 people just sitting in their spawn over there. Like, what are they doing? Like, what is this guy doing? Well, I can't hit him, so he's a really good player. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, put me back in the other game. I feel really bad. Yeah, I feel very, very horrible about all of this. At least try to flank us here. Come on, guys. I'm so sorry. I know you... I feel horrible. Come on. I feel literally the worst about all of this. I feel horrible about that game. I feel horrible about that game. Oh my, here I am just fragging out. Poop! He's back! Poopy stinky. Stinky poopy. Uh-oh. Stinky. Poopy. And just like that, we have a football. No. No. That is not for you. Hey Luna, don't be mad at me, but I bought the Battle Pass to Valorant. I want that knife. The knife at tier 50 looks absolutely insane. And I want it. Rewarding, like, Battle Pass. See, this guy deserves to live, because I should have been able to... Oh my god, you lying? He's probably playing it right now, like, getting in training. He's getting ready to carry me to victory. It's gonna be great. Instead of getting a useful teammate, he's gonna get me. Woo! Sniper. We don't need that. Hey, here. Here. Oh my god. What? How come I didn't pick that one up? Come on, teammate. There you go. Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. Yes. I don't even care if I die. I don't care if I die. Teammate's name, Odin's Fury. Really cool. Woo! Look at it. Oh, God. Get your clams in, bros. Yeah, I think, I'm at tier 16 on the Battle Pass already. You can actually level up the Battle Pass quite easy, too. But I have 18 days. I need to play all those 18 days. Nope, not today, buddy. Do it. Oh. My life flash was from. Okay. Got behind him. We're actually just that good. There we go. Solidified the win there. There we go. 9:52. I think we're just gonna go ahead and switch over to that game now. Get a little bit of the training in before we hop in. It is 9:52. 20 kills. Yes. A good way to end it. Love to see it. Yes, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Ooh, I'll take it. That was the sketchiest kill of my life. Oh my god. Okay, free turf. Oh. I'm in unwanted territory right now. What is that guy doing? I hope he's alright. Nice. Love it. 11 kills. Not bad.